Ever since I started doing YouTube, I've always run into people who like to send long paragraphs about their feelings, thinking that that's going to discredit anything that I'm talking about. I'm dealing with individuals who only watch 5 to 10 seconds of my videos or just read the title and automatically get in their feelings because what I'm talking about isn't what they talk about in their safe spaces. And every single time I would have to read one of these comments, one of the things that I would normally see is how I'm bootlicking or how I'm catering to a white audience or how I'm tearing down the black community with my videos. And so the general question that I have started to ask is that what videos cater to a black audience? And before you would answer that, I would also need you to understand how low you think of black people, because what does it say about what you think about what black people are supposed to watch? You think black people are too stupid to sit here and actually give their own points about various things that are happening on social media and in the current climate of society? Do you think black people are too stupid to actually sit down and articulate proper points other than what you talk about in your college classrooms? What is it that you're trying to gain by telling me that I'm catering to a white audience? You're not making black people look superb here. You're making black people look like idiots. If you're going to tell me that I need to stick to making gaming content or doing hair tutorials or trying on clothes, that lets me know how low you think of black people. That lets me know that you don't want to have black people in these certain discussions. That means you want to have black people sitting down and shutting up because you have this idea that anything that I would put out, anything that other people would put out that actually provides diversity of thought, that is not something black people are supposed to watch. They're supposed to watch things that make them feel good in the moment. All last year, white people were told to do one thing and one thing only: shut up and listen to black people, because you were convinced that every single thing you do in your life, because you're white, is somehow better than the black person who is also next to you. And I'm sorry to break it to every white person watching this, but that is desperately not true. Just because you got convinced by a bunch of 20-year-old college students that you are a problem just because your skin is a problem to them doesn't mean you're a bad person. None of you have any power to oppress any single person. None of you have power to hold back anyone unless you're actively trying to do it. Many of these individuals who are complaining at you to listen to them are desperately trying to get you to realize that they suck, but they don't want to acknowledge that because accountability is something most people struggle with. And what bothers me about being told to shut up and listen is that you did take the time to shut up and listen, but you only listened to a certain group. You listened to a bunch of people that are playing victim. You listen to a bunch of people who don't get up off their own ass and actually put in the time to do something. You listen to a bunch of people who really want you to understand that being white is a bad thing. Instead, you took all of that and you actually believe that. And anytime you interact with someone like me, like Gothics, like Young Ripper, like Abba and Preach, you sit there and you want to demonize them. You claim that we're not black enough. Or if for some people who are also black who want to claim that if your life doesn't suck because you're black, you're heavily insulated. It's funny how these people have this way of thinking and don't want to open their minds to the fact that, not every black person is oppressed. Not every black person is fighting against the white person to be succeeding in life. We're actually taking the time to hone our crafts and actually take the time to get better at what we're doing, not bitching about how some white person we don't even know has a better opportunity than us. There are ways we could actually come together and have conversations, and it's called diversity of thought. Stop sitting here and shunning people just because they don't have the same experiences as you. Actually take the time to have a conversation with them, because if you're not going to do that, guess what? You're a hypocrite, and on some level, you might be a white supremacist.
This is why I laugh at the idea of black representation, because it's clear that these types of folks don't actually